The idea of this video is to share my philosophical and psychological views on the topics about plagiarism versus inspiration. I tend to bring awareness and share some information that have helped me during the development of my career, as I believe that psychology and the mindset can be equally important as the technical knowledge. And I feel that there's more than enough educational material about the technical part of making music, but there's a lack of psychological and artist mindset videos on the internet today. The topic I'm about to discuss is already regulated by the laws of the copyright, but my intention is not to discuss the regulations or any laws. My intentions are purely psychologically and philosophically oriented, and I wish to express my views on this topic, as some of the views that I'm about to talk in the video have helped me pretty much during the development of my own music career. What's up everyone? Welcome back to another video by clip on my YouTube channel, and in this video I want to speak about plagiarism versus being inspired by someone else's work. So we are all aware that on the scene there's so much music that kind of sounds similar to some other artists. I honestly believe that there's nothing wrong in being inspired by someone else's work, and someone else's work can actually influence us to do something better. But where is the border between plagiarism and being inspired by someone else's work? This is the question that's kind of bothered me for a very long time, and when I was younger I used to like certain type of the artist that I was looking up to, and artists which music actually caused me to start working on my music as well. So after my career started to develop, I started meeting these artists, and after our conversation in which I explained to them that I believe that the best music used to be when they used to be on their peak, on which they replied to me that the best music they believe was when they started working and when they were listening to the artists that they were looking up to. So only this was huge discovery for me, as I realized that there were some other artists before them that they were looking up to and that they got inspired by as well. Just the understanding that artists that I was looking up to got inspired by someone else before them made me to understand that the style of an artist is a combination from your own expression, your own idea, combined with the influences that you had from the music that you like to listen to. But this also brought me another question: where is the border of being inspired and plagiarism? So the title of this video brings up one important question and really hard question to answer. So in this video I cannot provide the answer to this question, but I can provide you my view and my opinion about this question. So we are all aware that there's so much music coming out today that's actually pretty similar or to some recently released music or some music that used to come a long time ago. As someone who deals with the music professionally, part of my work is to listen a lot of music, and older I get, I hear these similarities often and often. By being on the scene for a very long time, I also know that there are certain type of the artists that gonna have their own idea combined with some influence from some other artists, but they're gonna have this artistic expression, and we can hear that there's something deeper inside of each track. While there's also another types of the artists that we can hear that everything is kind of good in the track, but something is missing inside of it. And I believe that this type of the music, or it's made generically, or that artist tried to plagiate or to copy something that he used to like, but this is always the hardest thing to do, as it will never work. I believe that every artist would like to have unique style, but we are all aware that this is not possible, as there's not many things that we can do that were not done already. Our type of the music, it's pretty limited. We like repeating bass lines, we like the similar BPMs. We also need to make tracks that other DJs can play on the parties, which means that we need to adapt on a similar BPMs, which will all make kind of a subgenres, but it will all be pretty similar to each other. As well, today if you want to succeed, you need to produce and to release music fast, which means that you need to make a lot of material and you need to release it often. So only this momentum will also make everything to be a bit harder, and also it will make for each artist harder to be unique and to develop something that's not done already. But the main question is, where is the border between plagiarism and being inspired by someone else's work? So from my personal experience, I were in a situations when I did something that I discovered later that is kind of pretty similar to something that I used to listen very long time ago. So let's say that there were certain track which I liked a lot, and I started to listen it in a repeat for a very long time. So I can say that I can memorize deep in my brain this part of the track that I used to like a lot. So let's say that after 10 or 15 years I'm sitting in my studio and I hit the similar emotion that the track that I used to like also have. So only the synchronicity or similarities of those two emotions can actually make me to try to make something similar to it. Or in other words, I might feel that similar melody can be really good fit for this track without being aware that I'm actually trying to replicate something that I already heard in the past. Because in the moment I'm focused on a track, there's a certain flow going, and in certain moment I feel it as an inspiration that this type of the melody will be great fit for that part of the track. So after finishing up the track, releasing it and start playing it, I discover that I did something pretty similar to someone else's work which I used to like in the past. So can we say that I used to plagiate something like this? Or we can put it in a basket of the coincidences? So the difference between plagiarism and being inspired by someone else, in my opinion, is intention. If we did something by purpose, did we want to make something to sound exactly as that artist that we tried to copy, or we did it accidentally just by feeling that this type of the melody can be really good fit for this part of the track. I believe that intention is really important in this part, and the chances that we're gonna do something similar that someone else did already are pretty big, because there's not many of unique things that we can do being sure that someone else did already. As well, we are working in a 12-note system, which is pretty limiting, and there are big chances that what we do, someone else did it already. Another point on this is that plagiarism most likely is gonna have almost the whole track similar, the similar arrangement, the similar key, the similar style, the similar BPM, the similar sounds on each part, the similar arrangement and the break, the similar types of the tricks, similar melody. So this type of the tracks are most likely to be plagiarism, while if there's only a certain part of a track that's gonna remind you of something else, it's not necessarily mean that it's a plagiarism. I'm pretty tough on this type of the things, but I just recently discovered that it did happen to me many times in the past, and without my intention to copy someone else, I did something that's pretty similar. And I would put that in a basket of the coincidences, but these were the type of the track that I used to like in the past. So this made me to think about all of this, and I honestly believe that we cannot avoid it as much as we want. But this also made me to think that being inspired by someone else is actually a good thing, because that way we're gonna borrow someone else's work that's gonna bring us something that we can pack in a different way, and maybe that part of the work is gonna inspire someone else to change it, and all of us together are in a circle of inspiration as we're inspiring one each other, and I believe that all of this story it's even more beautiful. So this was my view on the topic about plagiarism and being inspired by someone else's work. Please let me know what you think in your comments below, and we can start a discussion, which I believe is going to bring a bit more attention this time. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon in another video. Bye.